Good evening, everyone. Oh, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button, and we are going to slow stitch. Ha ha! So I've got a pile of stuffs. She says, taking a snip of a tea. That's horrible slurping noise. Hope you didn't hear it. I drink either green tea or Rooibos, Red Bush, sort of South African non-caffeinated tea. Now, I'm going to start with paper because we're going to make a pattern. And what I want is to make a heart that's stuffed, and the heart is going to be like a folk heart. So I'll do 2 cuts. So if I was making like a more traditional shape heart, it would be something, and this won't be perfect because it never is on the first cut. But it would be something like that. Yeah. We're not going to do that. We're going to do, I don't know how big. Do I want it really big? We could do one really big one. So we're going to do another heart. So this is like kind of Valentine's-esque situation. If you do Valentine's, we kind of loosely do it. We'll eat chocolate in our house. I think this is even going to be too not folksy enough. Yep. Even that isn't folksy enough. That's not the right size. Do I want it? I think that's what I want. Playing around with the pattern until you get it right. I think that's it. Now they can be even narrower, so like some folk hearts are like really narrow, but I think that's about the dimensions that I want for my pattern, this one. So I'm going to make a hanging heart. This is my pattern. See, I've changed my mind now. I will still keep fiddling with it. This is my rough pattern. I think with hearts, unless you get like a template online, you're kind of having a fiddle. But I want it to be a bit naive, so I'm going to stick with that. And I've got some different variety of fabrics. So I've got that. Ooh, we could have green on it to start with, couldn't we? So we've got a variety of fabrics that I'm going to go through, and we'll choose a base fabric, and then some of that. Like, I would have loved this. This is actually the one that we used for the Christmas wreath, and it's going to be very similar. This is not, it's going to be rough and ready and very, very similar today. But that would have been perfect. But I actually don't mind a bit of colour in it, because we can take all of that green up and just, I don't know. Right, we'll put that to one side. That's not enough. I have this, which is kind of could work, and it's already got this stuff on it, this kind of embroidery. So that's a possibility. I've got lots of pinks to add patches. So I've got this one as well, which I quite like the idea of this one, because it's very neutral. Even with the shapes and stuff, it still is very, very neutral. So I like the idea of that. And then we have this one, which is a linen. It's quite an open weave linen. So this might actually, I might make a bunny rabbit out of this one, I might do. Shall we make the bunny rabbit, the spring bunny out of this? Okay. So I'm still on with fabric sample kick. If you wasn't, you want a thicker fabric, so you could make these with jeans. You could make it with like any sort of like heavier weight cotton, so jeans or trousers, that sort of material. You could make it with shirt material, shirt fabric, if it wasn't too thin, or bed sheets. I mean, this is quite, it's got a bit of a weak spot there, but it's quite a weighty fabric. Have I still got the thing on? I don't. It's all gone off. But it feels like it's a linen cotton blend. It's very strong. So we decided on that, didn't we? We're not going to have that. I like that though. I don't know. That might have to become something else. I do like it. Okay. I need to get some emails written. I do intend, whether it's when I've got time, because you have to have headspace to sort of write an email or a letter and send it out to a few places in town. And then if I get a good response from it, what I'll do is I'll find some mechanism. I do have a Ko-fi page, but I used it for browsing other people. That might be my mechanism of getting things to you, where I can sort of like put it up as a Word document or something. And then if you're stuck for words, you know, for how you to ask businesses and stuff for the leftover bits and pieces for your art. But I've got to have a headspace for that. And I think because I spend all week really, listening to people, which I really like, but then I've got to sort of write about what they've said. So I spend all day writing. So I've got this, which is a nice William Morris mixed, kind of like the colours are not William Morris at all, but the pattern is a William Morris, and I really like that. I don't know, I think I bought this to make a skirt way back in the day, like 20 years ago, and I never did. It ended up in my stash. Some vintage buttons. Okay. Giveaway. There's the box full of yumminess. I will talk about that at the end of the video on how you can get hold of that. Should we cut this out on this, and then we can start playing with fabric and playing with my trims and odds and ends. I'm kind of on my work table instead of on I normally put my antiques box on the top to give myself some height, but I just thought, well, I had so much today, I wouldn't do that. I still have perhaps a bit much. She said dropping half of it on the floor. Okay, I need my pins. So I was doing some slow stitching this morning, and then we went out and had some lunch, and a look around home base, because if you're in the UK you'll know all the home bases are going. And I knew it was a long shot. I wanted, you can still buy them. I might have to just bite the bullet and buy it online. I'll see if I can find an ironmonger near me. I wanted a drying rack that's sort of on a pulley, and you pull it up and it goes to the ceiling. Because I've got quite high ceilings in this house. And our dining room is kind of the workhorse room. It's where the pretty dresser is, but it is kind of like, that's where Miles' office nook is. The kitchen's sort of semi-open plan to it. Yeah, it's kind of like this sort of workhorse room. And so I was thinking of doing that, because otherwise we have to sort of put drying racks up like at the minute. So I wanted to find one of those, but I couldn't. There wasn't any. Do I want to just fold that over? Because I was thinking I was going to be. Yeah, I could just fold it over, couldn't I? Two things at once. I think if I wasn't sat here talking to you, I think I would be able to do this like in an hour what I'm going to make today. I don't think it would take very long at all. I'm not going to get this finished today, so like in that time, because I'm having to think about you guys rather than just what I want to do. But I think you should be able to make something like this pretty quick. Okay. Fabric scissors. They're scissors for fabric, and that's all. So people might notice I've got a green ribbon, and that doesn't mean that they're fabric scissors. That means that they belong to me. So I used to do a variety of workshops, and I would never put fabric scissors out with ordinary scissors anyway. But they just meant that they belonged to me, so that people didn't walk away with them. Because, you know, people do, either accidentally or accidentally on purpose. So we're just going to cut this out. And we're going to be sewing this sort of wrong sides together so that we get the nice fraying business. So you don't have to be really precise with your cutting out. It's all going to be good. Even if it's a bit lopsided like this one, I fear, maybe. But that doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. It's part of its charm. So yeah, so we went to the place, the DIY place that was closing down. It's kind of strange what's happened to it. It's not closing down as such. It's kind of like all the stock is being emptied out and the staff are being retained, and then it's going to become a range, which I really love. There's like it's called the range, and it's like DIYs and hobbies and interiors. It's kind of, rather than just home base, is just sort of like a DIY big box store. But that's not what this is going to be. Okay, here we are. So that's our shape. We've got a choice of that for the back. I might leave that, because then if I hang it up somewhere, you could flip it, couldn't you? Because that's just nice. I could put like the Stantons or something, some sort of embroider. I don't know. But this is our pet. This is our decorative bit then. This is what we're going to plan out today. And then I think next week I'll show you it nearly finished, or I'll finish it off, and then I want to do another wreath, and it'll be very similar to what we did before Christmas, but with a Valentine's Day twist, because I've got some like really lovely bits in here that need a home, like that. I'm not going to put this on here, but I will on the wreath. But look at that, that's very pretty. They're all vintage kind of trims and stuff, so we'll have a think about that. I've got like a nice bit of gold braid to be the hanger. Right, I've got some red ribbon back, some pink ribbon, there's bits of blues, there's that kind of colour, that kind of trim, there's butterflies, there's all kinds of stuff in there. That's just my odds and ends. I put it in there. I might need another one, or a bigger one. So I pulled that out, and then I just pulled random pinks. There might be an odd little bit of blue, because I did think that, because that would contrast. It's just a matter of like making a pretty collage. I think we'll keep that for a snippet roll. Got this, that ticking fabric. Make some quick choices. I'm liking the stripes. Nope. Got like a solid pink. Possibly. Got that pink. No. I've got this, which I think is quite nice. With the blue. I don't really want the mustard on it. I'm excited for spring. We did we did contemplate, but it was really cold. Going out into the garden section and looking for things for the garden, but we decided not to. So we've got that. How quick's that? We're just going to sew them out, and then I'm going to decide if we're going to have like just love, because that's what I was kind of thinking. Kind of embroidered on top. We do have rip-rack and stuff. Got those nice buttons. Don't need that. Got pink rip-rack and red rip-rack. Don't want to be too like. I don't think it is Christmassy. I might take that green off, put something else in. Find something else put there then. Do I think? Does that make it look good? I think once I put love in, well, it could either be, couldn't it? Either or. Put some buttons on, major on the red buttons rather than green buttons. Some rip-rack there. No, let's see. Did I put my red buttons away? I don't think I did. I've got pink there. Oh. Excuse me while I just have a little root. Oh, burgundy, that's a bit Christmassy. I've got red buttons. Okay, I think we might be winning chicken dinner in. She said. I'm just having a look in here and see is there anything that jumps out at me. Besides the gold thread. Well, we could use the rip-rack as well. Oh, we could sort of like do the letters in that. Let's pull that out. So, as for where I get all of this is 20 years worth of collecting. I do have other jars and stuff full as well, but this is like my very scraps. And so the things in here, I wouldn't be able to tell you where half of them from because I don't know. I mean, I've got like the very ends of the big sample sheets when it gets to the very ends and it's something I like. There's bits of old kimono. Then there's just rip-rack that's been bought locally. Other odds and ends of ribbons off clothing. There's some elastic in there. Just, it's useful. There's some things from my grandmother-in-law in there as well. I could put that one of those little patches on actually. Could have the word love there. I could just have buttons. Let's have a look at the buttons, because we've got like a big button. Oh yeah, like a big button. Just do big buttons. Three is a magic number. 3 or 5. Just do 3 big buttons. So let's get that one on that. Look at that. That was easy, she said. No, I think, like I said, it's not. It's a sort of whip it up thing, but still slow stitching. Right, now we need to do thread. Which is behind me. I was doing my, oh, I've got gold. Now that would make it look Christmassy if I put gold on it, so I'm not going to put gold on it. So we want a red. I've forgotten what I was saying then. Got another big button. Keep it big. Have love. Yeah. Like the love can be in a bright colour. Right, what colour are we going to do these stitches in? So yeah, I've been doing some slow stitching on my journal that we did last week. I've been doing some more bits on there, and that is going to take me, because once I got started, I've kind of put it away now, so I'm not going to get it out. But once I got started, I was like, oh, I just want to embroider this little bit and that little bit, and I thought actually that would take a month. It's like a month's worth of lots of little projects, and I quite like that. Do we want that? But then I could have that instead of that. So we have this red, which is burgundy. Let me go back, because I know I've got more reds. Got some lace. I've not put my red thread away with my robin kit. One moment. Oh, I like that. And then quickly found, they're not quite like those as well, like the blue. It's not at all the same colour as that, but I quite like that. And it's grey. That goes well. Do I want purple? Well, I've got pink. I have like so many of these got reels. else, just because like if I see it I buy it. But we will have conversations about I've just noticed that as well. Got trimmy bits. Sort of where you buy stuff and how you use stuff. Yeah, I think it's important. Okay, like where you get your supplies from. And that will differ depending on where you are and how, like, you know, how easy things to get hold of things. There's lots of factors to figure. We don't want black. So I've got this one that's not got any label on it. Oh, but it is one of the Silco ones. One of these, it's just really, really old. We've got that one in ruby red. Okay, let's get a needle. Let's get going. Now I sort of really double up my threads. There's a couple of reasons for that. Firstly, this is really old thread. Like it's more than 50 years old, this thread. And it's my choice to buy that old thread because, yeah. And so I treat it almost like it's embroidery floss. So I make it thicker. That's why it's that thickness, really. Where do we want that? I don't want it like that. Have it like that. Yeah. So yes, we went out for lunch and then we went to the DIY store. Well, we went to the DIY store first and then we went out for lunch. So we didn't go far, we didn't go on a huge wander. Bits. But it was just enough. Get out the house. We did get some bargains. We needed new laundry baskets and so we got some new laundry baskets, which was quite good. Okay, let's have a plan. I think I'm going to do red around that and that and that. Oh, that might make it Christmassy. See, I do think that makes that Christmassy. What do we think? Do we think we just replace it? I think we might just replace it. I don't like it looking Christmassy. Okay. Oh, I can smell our dinner. Having roast pork for tea. Or dinner. I'm northern, so like my evening meal really is tea. I've been living down south for like, how long? 25 years? Yeah. I graduated in 2000. And moved down south. That's where I met my husband. Not in 2000, it was a few years later, but it's fraying a little bit. Here we go. They're quiet, my slow stitching videos. I think because I get really I just get into stitching. Okay, because I want to pull this towards me, I'm going to lean over. I'm going to do some sort of back stitchy stitches. Some whip stitches. I said I was going to do blue this. Well, I'm not now, I'm doing red. That's what I'm doing. Don't worry, I just stitch. And things generally look alright in the end. So when we were in the garden centre, I did buy some napkins because I'm a bit addicted. They were expensive, $3.99. But then I look at it and I think about like scrapbooking paper and stuff and how much that used to be. But I don't want, at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to be consuming. I don't want to. So I don't really go to the garden centre that often. In fact, the last time I went must have been about September time, so it's not, you know, I can't say it's a big problem, but they're just so handy. But they were expensive. I got 2 packets, and one of them's like a spring summer wreath, which is a really handy shape just to have for junk journaling. And the other one's like it's got flowers again, which are really, really handy, really easy. And I know I have myriad books with flowers, but like I said, I can use them like vellum stickers, but not have all that horrible plastic. And then when you look at it like that, each element it breaks down to pennies, like little pennies for the value. So yeah, I might put one in the giveaway box, one of each in the giveaway box, take the backing off so it's not taking too much space. I might do that, go through my napkins, put your butterfly one in. I'm back stitching this, and actually I could just run a stitch it because there's no tension, there's no tension at all actually. It's just back stitch is my natural stitch, it's just what I go to. That's what I start and finish with, but we'll do some runner stitch because that's quicker, otherwise we'll be here forever. Okay, we don't need to do that outside edge because it's going to get caught in however we sew it up, which will probably be a back stitch. That's the last little bit. Let's finish it off. So that's pretty invisible, but that's alright. That's absolutely fine. It's really bright and beautiful outside. Well, it's not now, it's gone dark. But because we're heading into sort of lighter time of the year, it was just so lovely that at 4:30 it was still quite bright outside. And I was like, oh, the light. I miss the light. Okay, what am I going to sew next? Am I doing blue with that? Let's do this one. But we need to, otherwise, I should just pin that down a bit better. Let's do this one in the red. It's a really nice red. So I'm going to stuff it with the wool that I get from like my medication that comes monthly. So it's going to be all natural like natural materials. Because I'm pretty sure all of these are cotton. I don't know what this is, although it does feel like it is cotton. It's really old. It does feel like it's cotton. I won't do a burn test on it. I'm not that interested. It would be good though if it was all compostable. So this ticking fabric came in one of those sample books that I got during the pandemic. It was a massive book. In fact, I still use the backings of it. A lot of them I completely sort of took them all apart, and the hard covers I got rid of because I didn't want the bulk. But this one, it's really big. It's like bigger than the table. Really big pieces of fabric. I use it as a desk. When you're sitting in bed, you can use it as a desk, like a handy work top surface you can put somewhere. So like if you wanted to do something and not ruin the tape, it's like a leather. It's a real leather top to it. Jigsaw puzzles. It's really good for jigsaw puzzles, and it's big enough. So we weren't around this year to put a jigsaw puzzle on it. I might need to get my thimble out. But yeah, it's a nice bit of kit for free. I like the for free. But I'm glad that January is behind us. It's strange because we have birthdays like basically the middle 2 weeks of January. We have birthdays, so it's strange, how January goes on forever. It might not be that way in other countries actually. It might just be because in northern hemisphere countries, because it's really cold and dark, and you haven't seen the light a lot, because it gets like in the UK in the winter, like just 4 o'clock and it's dark outside because we're so far up north basically. But then conversely in the summer it could be 10:30 at night and it's still pretty light outside. It's strange. Where my husband comes from in South Africa, it's like when you go, even in the height of summer, it's like the light just gets switched off. So it might be, yeah, it might, depends where you are. There's like no twilight, if you know what I mean. It's like the light somebody's just switched the light off, switched the sun off, which is very strange, yet beautiful. Did I get a bit that was marked? No, it's just a bit of fluff. I was about to, so the giveaway, I will talk about that now. I also want to put a caveat in that I have a cat. So if you're allergic to cats, you might want to quarantine it for a while. Now, he doesn't really come in here, but, he does live in this house. And there's always a bit of dodger wherever we are. He's allowed to come in here if he wants to, but because it's always a bit chaotic, he never wants to. He likes it where it's tidy and orderly. Or in the garage, which is a complete disaster, but recently, I think again it's about the light. He likes sitting out, sitting in the garage. It's cold in there though. Cats don't like to be cold, but he comes in when he wants some food, when he wants some attention, and he goes back out. In the summer, he's basically feral. Anyway, I digress. So, if you want to be entered into the competition, and there are rules on my community tab, I would like you to be subscribed to the channel, like this video, share this video, comment on the video that you've shared it, but also add something else, because I don't, have conversation. That's what I want. That's what I'm trying to encourage you to do. Even if it's you say I've shared it and then comment on somebody else's, like, you know, have a bit of that going on. Okay, we've got some blues. I have a little sewing cabinet that's at the back of, like, was at near the door in my my craft room, and that's where I just took these from, because I've got a drawer at the bottom that's got a lot of these in, and then I've got it like kind of folds out, and there's a lot more in there as well. I don't know what's going on downstairs. I like that. I know it doesn't quite go up, but I don't think it'll look bad. Oh, there's the grey. The grey might be better, actually. I think the grey is better. Let's do around here with the grey. Oh, we could do that one in the grey and then that one back in the red. It doesn't matter if things are touching. Let's just get rid of this. Yeah. Tell me about your sunshine. What's it like where you live? Does the sun just switch itself off? Are you like us, you're in the dark? Because it is dark and miserable. January is such a dark and miserable month. And December is, to be fair. December's the darkest month. But because you have Christmas in it, you kind of, and there's lots of, like, even if you don't really do Christmas, like all the houses have got twinkle lights in the windows or on the outside. We have this. We didn't think, when we bought it, we didn't think it would be quite this bright, but it literally could be on the runway at Heathrow. It's this big star, and it's warm white lights, and it's a star that looks like a snowflake, so it's like kind of snowflake star, really. And we have that in our window. It basically lights the lounge up and lights like a lot of the street up. It's really, really bright. It's LEDs, it doesn't really cost anything to run, but it's just that sort of brightness. That's a load of stuff falling off my craft Nami. Oh, craft avalanche. It's alright, I can get it. I think that's Lily talking to the cat, not to her dad. Okay, let's start here. Work our way across. I start at my new office on Tuesday, so our day has changed. We used to be Monday when we were in Cambridge, pretty much in the city centre, but we've gone, it's like another town. It's actually quite a bit of a schlep. It's basically an 80-mile round commute. I think if I was doing that every day, I'd just be looking for another job. But because it's only once a week, it's very doable. So it'd be nice, because I haven't seen the girls, like my team, for a while. Like a long while, since before Christmas. And then not even since before Christmas, I think it was our Christmas meal last time I saw them, which is always like the week before Christmas. No, it was even the week before that, because the week before Christmas I was in Wigan. So it could be like 8 weeks since I've seen them. That's a long time. I mean, we've chatted over Teams and stuff, and had meetings and stuff. It's just not that face to face. No, I didn't cut that straight, but you know, I'm really not bothered. Really not bothered. Not bothered. It will look nice when it's done. And I will put it on my dresser. Yeah. So it's just really simple stitching this. You could whip this up if you wanted to make one of these to like have a decorations in your house, or actually as a Valentine, because sometimes I'll do the things like this. This is not going to be my Valentine to my husband, but you know, like I might make something similar to this. I have in the past. I'll have to dig them out and show you. I might do that at the beginning of this video. And sort of have things stuck on the front of a card, like, you know, like a little heart. I've done it for my daughter, and then she could put a little like heart or a hug in her pocket for school. She used to oh no, I'm not going to say that. I know, isn't it strange, the internet, how you change your... I was going to say something very sweet about her, and I used to make things for her that would stick in her pocket, but that's her thing. That's her private thing. Yeah. I haven't had to think about these things, really. You know, I have opinions about other people, what they've done with their children online, but not really had to have that sort of thought process as far as I was concerned, or, you know, a child of mine was concerned. But do now. Yeah. Look at that. Have I put too much tension on that stitching? Force it back down. I need to go and get some leather out of the garage, and then we can do a thimble. So for the junk journaling, I was thinking of doing a kit list. I think I'll do that for the sewing one as well, just so that, you know, some people use a lot of fancy stuff and I don't use a lot of fancy stuff. I mean, I do think this stuff's quite fancy because it's antique and vintage stuff, but you actually really don't need that. That's only since I moved to Cambridge that I started, well no, a little bit before, started collecting odds and ends of antique and vintage stuff. Let's have a little look, see. Should we do that in the red? Do that in this grey. How much have I got left of this grey? Yeah, so my week's going to be a little bit busy. It'll feel busy just because it's like a step function change. It'll be its normal amount of busy work wise. But I am really tired. I've got like a day and a half left before my new lot of holiday kicks in. I just don't know when to take it, or if to take it. There's a family situation, I might need it to deal with that. But I have a feeling that, yeah, that I might have time. I don't know. I just know I am a bit tired. But that's okay. Oh, my dinner's smelling amazing. I should have put a little clock on. I don't know how much. Okay. Let's just do the other one and then I can trim it about. And then I might leave it there. I could do that in that. I mean, there's still quite a lot of strength in these. They were obviously kept really nicely. What did I do with that needle? What did I do with the needle? So you know I'm tired. I was just about to say, if you see it, wave and cheer. That's one of Lily's favourite programmes. I can't remember what it was called. But it was about a family that, it was a series of families that all live in this mythical Scottish city, because it had bits of London in it and bits of Edinburgh. But it was clearly meant to be like in Scotland because everybody was Scottish. But some of the, like, it had the gherkin, which is like a modern day British structure, like a tower block in London. It's like near the Tower of London and everything. There's some pretty historic stuff, and then there's also some pretty modern buildings. I actually think it blends quite well. It's been ages, it's been years since I've been down there. Literally before the pandemic. Might be nice of a trip into London come the spring. We used to do it quite often. We would do like museums and stuff when Lil was little, because I wanted her to be able to navigate you know, like a big city. Well, it's the biggest city in the UK, because Cambridge is not a big city, it's like a town. In fact, my hometown is probably geographically bigger. It's really tiny, so like, you know, she doesn't really, although where she goes to college and stuff is quite urban and near a train station, and there's all big office blocks, you know, and it's very, very city. But it's just like a tiny bit of London that it doesn't, it's not like a proper city. I think it probably will, and give it another 100 years time, definitely the way they want to plan things, it will have a lot of urban sprawl. It's strange though, Cambridge. It's got cows in the middle of it that sort of roam around. There's two places. There's one on a common where there's just cows, Coldham's Common, and then there's one of the colleges right in the city centre. It's got cows in it and beehives, and it's very sort of pastoral and idyllic. It's a very strange place, Cambridge. Very polarised. You've either got a lot or you've not got a lot. There's very few people in the middle, which was an odd place because we were sort of not in the not a lot, but we also didn't have a lot. We were sort of very, very few people like us in the middle. There we go, quite like that. Hang it off. Trim it up. Then we'll have a little play with ribbons and then we'll call it a day. And I'll go and finish off dinner. Okay, so use that. Oh, that bit here, trim off. Now if you wanted it to have like really neat edges, I would put the wrong side on, well, right side to right side. It's not completely symmetrical, so you'd be having fun, but you could do that. Sew it up, leave a gap, turn it out, stuff it, and you'd have your little heart. But because we're not doing that, we are doing this. We're going to do that, like that. And even then, because it's not completely symmetrical, but we can trim as we go, we're not going to worry. So there we go. And what we'll be doing is stitching just around like that, and then it'll all fray and it'll look beautiful. Now we've got some white that came via a charity shop to eBay, from eBay, it looks like. This lace, so we can either build it out like that. Yeah, quite like the idea of that. I've got some cream, this is white, but I think we'll stick with the white, be alright. That can tuck down there. Do we need another little bit? We're just building it up. Now we've got some ribbon, we've got rickrack, and we've got this ribbon. Could do it all the way across, like that. All the way across. crazy patchwork, isn't it? Not quite, but on the way there. Now, do I want that? Do I want that like that? And then that down here. Might want that like that. Yep. I don't know why it's not sitting straight. It's because I just throw it into that bag instead of putting it, instead of wrapping it around a piece of card and keeping it flat like normal people would do. But I'm not normal. Very happy to say I'm not normal. Okay. Something like that. Can go across, it doesn't have to be along the lines. Oh, I like it. I might not even put any other stitching on it. I was going to put some words, but I don't think I need to. I think it's pretty obvious what it is. I'm going to have to pin them on. It's going to get annoying otherwise. Look at that, that's nice. Nice. All the stitching. All of the stitching visible. There we go. I think what you're getting here is you can see how I'm sort of layering things on top. Just layer. It's just like collaging with paper, but you're doing it with fabric. We've been watching lots of holiday programs, and we're thinking of holidays, and so, but Miles's dad has said it's his 80th, so he's trying to coordinate like money and time and family. Oh, it's tricky. It's tricky. We'll get there. We'll get the right compromise. Then we might have another play with buttons, because these might not. Oh, actually, though, no, still does. I was thinking it might not look right with the big buttons. But actually, it might be alright. We can put some smaller ones. We might put some smaller ones. But there we go. The first stage of a really quick, like I said, if it was just me, myself, and I wasn't thinking about you guys, it would take me no time, which is not really the point of slow stitching. But it would be a quick thing that I would just put together and enjoy doing it. Yeah, and it's going to be something really nice. So I think we'll make a hanger. I think we might have it so it's on the tilt. So it's like that. Bit of a wonky heart. As long as it's a good heart, that doesn't matter, does it, if it's a bit wonky. So, there we go. That is a yarn. And the slow stitch Sunday. That's how mellow I feel now after doing that. For me, slow stitching, more than junk journaling, and I do a lot more junk journaling than slow stitching, but it's like ultra mellow. I think the junk journaling, I get things out, I process stuff. This mellows me out. I'm not necessarily processing stuff, you know, that head in your hands thing. This just mellows me out. But there you go. That's why I want to do it on a Sunday evening. Bit of mellow before the week starts. Patchwork heart. Is it patchwork heart? Crazy patched heart. Appliqued heart. Folksy heart. Slow stitch heart. That's what it is. I will be back soon. I'm going to do a flip through of 2 ideas, and then I might get you to vote on which way to go for a mini project, for my design team project. That's what I'm going to do. Alright then. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.